So, take two of this video again. The last video was a bit garbage. I'm sorry about that. I improved the audio and I did a bunch of stuff. And today we're going to talk about graphs and explain them a little bit better this time around without wasting so much time. I don't know how last time I got it even close to 30 minutes. I'm not even going to lie. But here we go. So, here we have comps that are already set up. I'm also using After Effects 2023, the newest one, so there might be a bit of changes than you'd naturally see, but hey. Alright, so we have our song, it's Pixels. I will quickly play you the audio for it. Alright, there it is there. It does seem a little bit offbeat, but I'll have a video on how to see if it actually is offbeat, because my headphones don't really tell me if it's on beat or not, really. Anyways, so also one thing very quick, also forgot the old video that I had for this one. If I forgot anything, I'll have it in the description, but it'll be unlisted, so you actually have to click on it. It won't show up on the channel anymore, because honestly, I think it's garbage, but I don't want to get rid of it. And yeah, so we will begin. So with graphs, it's a way to let you do transitions on a clip, and I will be showing you zoom in and out transitions and just how a graph naturally works. So with this, I'm going to use nulls real quick, and usually we use two nulls for this. Okay, also, by the way, to cut clips is Control-Shift-D. Next video, I'll probably have an overlay for it, so you'll be able to see it next time. Because I honestly feel like that's actually pretty important to see. Anyways, and to duplicate this is Control. And I'm just gonna put it 3 different nodes there. Right. Also, to find anime clips, I'm actually using a compilation here. So in general, when it's your first edit, I believe it's actually best to use compilation clips, because compilation clips allow you to just focus on editing and not having to look around for everything. And I'll probably have another video at another time explaining where you can find different resources and everything. But to be completely honest, I took a lot of them from probably like Discord, socials and everything, so but I'll try give you a list on my next video, and yeah, so anyways, nulls. So whenever you want to make transitions, we're using the nulls to actually do the movement for us. This is just so it's not as awkward. So I can give you an example. In general, most people sometimes when they start out on After Effects, this and this. Okay, so let's say they start at 25. We'll do a zoom out here. Then they go to 100, and then they want to zoom in to 50. This is what most people would do naturally, and it'll look very awkward. Like if I play it now, it'll look like that, which nobody likes that, of course. So also let me quickly disable the audio from those clips. And then when you keyframe it, people do this. And you don't get that smoothness. Also, I need to fix that clip. I just realized it's off. Oops. Oh yeah, here's another wisdom. If you have a lot of stuff to the side, you can use Alt and bracket to remove the section from the line of that, which is pretty cool. Anyways, now this is what it looks like. So if I do this, let's do it for all of this actually. I'll go to the middle so you can see what it looks like. Different. So this one was 25. 25 like this, and graph it. Well, I'm not going to show you the graphs just yet. I'll explain them in a second. I just want to give you a quick thing of how people may do it. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, won't motion blur improve this? It won't make it as nice the way I'm going to show you. But, you know, this is just the normal steps, what normal beginners should be doing initially when they first start out. But sometimes it doesn't happen. That's why I just want to show you. So that's how it looked like. And of course, it doesn't look that nice. Anyone that see that is like, oh, that looks nice. So yeah. Let me enable motion blur just so you know I'm not lying. And I will also show you my settings if anyone's interested. But in general, I use default. I don't actually. I used to use 200 and 0, but I just find default is just better. I don't know. After all my time using it. Because I used to use some crazy settings before. Yeah, so here's what it looks like. Even I don't know. Blur. Oops. So yeah, here's what it looks like. And of course, you're like, oh, that looks better, of course. But, you know, it's not as nice. Also, I'm sure you're wondering, how do we get rid of the black bits? I'll actually introduce this now. It's called Motion Tile. And this is a plugin I'm using to get Motion Tile. You don't need to worry. You can still search for it in effects and presets. But if you want, I will, if anyone wants it, I'll put it in the description. I guess it's a free plugin by Video Copilot. Yeah, effects quick. I'm just gonna copy these. Yep. That it'll look like now. And of course you can see it because of motion blur. Motion blur. This just so it makes it nicer. As you can see, it's okay, but we can make this smoother. This is too. Alright, so that's generally why we use nulls. So I'm gonna remove these now. Remove the scales. Alright, so how we do this is we connect the clip, the first null, and the first null, second. And whoops, I did matte. Not. Don't usually see that one. Right? So parent and link, first null, second. Right here. I don't know if I can. And I'll toggle that later. So now you see we'll be able to put keyframes into the nulls. This makes it a little bit cleaner to change stuff, of course. And so now show you. Will you see? We'll do now. And here's what it looks like. And of course, that doesn't match too well. Say here we zoom out. And of course, that doesn't look right. And that's why we need to graph it. So generally, there are two ways. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. This You don't have to have your keyframes exactly like this. You have them in different ways. So some people do this, where there's a little bit of overlap. Oh, yeah, I need to turn off motion. You can tell smooth. So yeah, that looks a little bit weird. Some people do this. And I say be creative with this because sometimes this may not always be the smoothest, or the effect that you're trying to go for, i.e. a fast transition, may not be nice using this, but this is generally what I tend to go for this way. And I usually put that keyframe out here by 1 frame. This is just for smoothness sake, and I'll show you after I graph them. And so quick graphs, I'll quickly tell you how they work. You can think of graphs as a way to dictate how you want the movement to occur. So generally, you're basically telling between the 2 points what its fastest point and its slowest point should be. It can be consistent, like this. So here you're saying, I want you to go a bit slowly until about the midpoint, go down really fast, and then at the end, go a bit slowly. Now here, we're basically telling it, oh, the scale of 450, once you get to about the middle, drop to 150, and then ease your way out from there. If we do like a normal one like this is like an exponential curve. We're basically telling it, at the top, I want you to drop scale, drop the scale number really quickly, and at the end, slow down. So that's basically how graphs work. And you can manipulate graphs to work any way you see fit. And I always recommend to mess around with them. People have many various different graphs. I believe you should change it based on your edit and see the feel for your edit. So some people do this, some people do like really tight. And I'll show you what each one looks like in a second. Some people do really tight, some this, a bit smoother, some people this, some people this. It just depends what you're trying to go for. So I'll just show you the typical one I usually do this most of the time. But like I said, I always change it based on the edit. So that's what it looks like. See? It's nice. Fast, slow, fast. And to show you what it looks like when 2 of the keyframes are moving, because when I was teaching my friend, actually, he was wondering, he couldn't really grasp like it in his head. Like I can now these days, but sometimes you need to have a look at it. You can actually select or highlight both of them so you can see it on the graph. So that's right. Ah, looks like they changed it. But effectively, it'll look something like, let's get this real quick. It looks something like, it's kind of a bad drawing, but it looks something like this. So the first null gets to its transition and gets to about here, then the second null kicks in. That's basically what it looks like. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And so yeah. So now I'll do these for the other 2 transitions, and then I'll show you what other ones look like real quick. Do low to high. I forgot the link. We'll actually go back down here. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the smoothness here. Remember when I told you it'd be a little bit smoother? This, if I move this one frame, show you that. See? It's less of a jump there. Now I'm gonna do that one here. Actually, I think I remember now. Oops, still not showing the way I wanted. Right. Oh, this is basically it actually. Oh, well, why it works here just fine, but hey ho. Yeah. So yeah, this is exactly what I was showing. Around this X point is when the second will take over. I like how that showed wanted to show. Hey, life is. See out here, I don't really feel like this looks right. Yeah, I like zoom out here instead, so I'm gonna change it to 50. It looks a bit. And then 0 makes sense to do here because alright, the brunt of the work is done. Oh, I forgot to link. Oh. I'll just cut these. Alright, that's how it looks. And as you can see, that's pretty smooth. And you can see it's smooth without motion blur, which is pretty cool. How to do that. Yeah, here's how it looks. It's pretty cool. Let me. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And I'm sure you're like, oh, there's a little bit of motion tile in some of these clips right here. What we are able to do is I'm going to show you a concept called overshooting to hide motion tile. There are other methods like using bars and stuff, and I'll show you those a little bit later. Sometimes you don't need them. Now, generally, I don't. As you can see, that hit the motion child from when we were doing where I zoom out. Barely see it. Now, you can see a lot of it here. I just need to check if... Oh, looks fine here. So here, naturally, there's a lot. So what we can do is we can use the second and push this up. Now to make this look a bit nicer. It hides a lot of the motion child. There's still a bit at the beginning, so I'm going to use a little bit of overshooting again. And that gets rid of it. As you can see, that's pretty smooth. So, and now if I enable motion blur, yeah, very smooth. Alright, so as I've told you in my explanation of graphs, you can have many different graphs. Need to pull this one back a little bit. We can have this go to like 200. And we can pull this to make it a little bit smoother. You can mess around our graphs any way you like. But best to try them out, see what you like. You can give a different feel like that. And you can mix and match them. So that's a pretty smooth one. Not smooth, I'd say it's a lot slower. Not like fast, slow, fast. It's like more consistent. And we can do a really tight graph. Hold shift as well to keep it straight, by the way. So, yeah, okay. Now I'll quickly show you about speed graph because some people use it. But whatever you do at speed, you can do with graph. And the way I like looking at it is I actually use the indicator or timeline indicator to tell me where I should have my... So this should look like this. I'll get paint real quick. It should look like this. Or not like that, like and it should be like at this point. How speed works is it takes a slope, as you can see here, and you can see it's in the middle of this. Speed works is it takes the time between each thing, and wherever you have the peak of a point, that's its fastest point, so slow down a little bit and go faster. And most people do this most of the time, and I say use graph, but you know, if you ever need to use this, because I don't even know why. I don't really use speed, to be honest. At its peak, that's when it'll move the quickest. So here, you can see speed picks up. And speed transitions can look nice sometimes, but graph gives you a lot more control, and you're able to dictate how you want it to feel to the user, which is one of the main reasons I'm always an advocate. Graphs. So I believe that should be everything. That's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope it's of some use to you, all of that, and Alright, very quick, future me here. I forgot, I'll actually put the link to the project file in the description. it's just a direct link. You don't need to do anything with it. If you want it. I won't put the clips in there, so you're going to have to find something you can use yourself, then you can try. But yeah, I just wanted that to be there just in case. And yeah, that's that.